And I know Denise already kind of outlined a lot of challenges that faculty are explicitly facing as it relates to reward structures, incentives, and so forth. But I want to pivot and talk a little bit about administrators. So many administrators have articulated, these anti-racist visions and commitments for their campus, but they haven't done the work to create the infrastructure to carry out it in a systemic way. I did a session recently with presidents about navigating tensions with boards of trustees in carrying out racial equity work with a board of trustees who don't see the value of having a chief diversity officer or changing particular policies that have been exclusive historically and contemporarily. So I think part of the challenge is, long-term cultural change in higher ed requires multifocal approaches. And too often we, focus on one particular dimension. I think of infrastructure as policy, human resources, and finances. So are we taking stock of our particular policies that have this, disparate kinds of impacts for particular groups? Human resources, are we training, preparing faculty to engage, teach, have leadership philosophies that capture the vision of our institution, and then allocating resources to be able to kind of carry that out as well. One of these are, alone is insufficient for facilitating systemic change. And so I'll just add that as a particular challenge that I see so many administrators facing in this current context.
I completely agree, Royal. And, one of the other things that I'm seeing kind of on the ground from faculty is that they also need presidents to, for lack of a better phrase, have their back when difficult situations emerge. And so we have had every semester an incident where a very well-meaning instructor has done something that they think is going to support equity in the classroom, and then students have come forward and complained that the thing that this person was doing was infringing on their freedom, academic, whatever it might be. And unfortunately, the instructors who have faced these experiences have not always felt as if they were supported by the institution, right? That when push came to shove, their reaction was more often, well, okay, as an instructor, you need to issue an apology so that this doesn't escalate, as opposed to using it as an opportunity for the institutional leadership to say, you know what, these are difficult conversations and we're trying to do the best and we're going to support you in this work, but we also want to help you by clarifying what our policies are, because one of the things that has happened is that our instructors, they don't necessarily know what the academic freedom or free speech policies are on our campuses. And so they're trying to do what they think is in the best interest of equity in their classrooms, not realizing that they may be kind of falling into a trap in some cases about engaging in those conversations. And then, once you have provided that information, really supporting faculty who are trying to do this work if they do end up afoul in some of these kinds of politically sensitive situations.
And Denise and Royal, just plus one to both of you. I think this theme of support is really prevalent in terms of what faculty members need in order to sustain this work. And we sort of mentioned the idea of institutional transformation, making sure that it's not just one individual actor or a pair of individual actors within a campus, but really the fact that this sort of permeates throughout the campus, and what are the policies and structures that are in place to support faculty members and others who are committed to this work. What is the messaging that is delivered from administrators and faculty in order to support the student experience. And with regards to faculty members, having that support from their administration is really key, both in terms of having their back, as Denise said, as well as even with regard to resources and being able to attend professional development opportunities that can help them in terms of, we've seen such great uptake and great reaction to the PD workshops that we've been able to provide through the student experience. So really seeing that commitment from their institutional leaders and getting that support has been a consistent theme throughout our experiences in the Student Experience Project.